Ever find yourself dreading the work week ahead, not because of the workload but due to the environment? You might be dealing with a toxic workplace. Let's consider Marcia's story. She's a hard-working professional who's been feeling increasingly stressed and frustrated at her job. It's not the work itself that's the problem, but the environment she's in. Remember the time she chose a calming lilac color for her office wall? She came in to find it painted a sterile magnolia instead. No explanation was given, just a smile from her boss, Jane. This is a classic example of passive-aggressive behavior, an all-too common sign of a toxic workplace. But it doesn't stop there. Marcia's experience extends beyond paint colors. She describes a constant feeling of walking on eggshells, never knowing when she might step on a landmine. This is another sign of an unhealthy work environment. An atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, where employees are always on edge, can be extremely detrimental to one's well-being. Marcia also talks about the constant backstabbing, the micromanagement. In a healthy work environment, colleagues support each other, and managers trust their employees to do their jobs. But in Marcia's case, she's dealing with colleagues who undermine each other and a boss who controls every detail. This lack of trust and support is another red flag. What's more, Marcia feels like she can't speak up about these issues. She's wary of approaching human resources because she fears it might make things worse. This feeling of being unable to voice concerns or seek help is another hallmark of a toxic workplace. So, let's recap. Passive-aggressive behavior, a lack of trust, micromanagement, a constant feeling of walking on eggshells, and the inability to voice concerns. These are just a few signs that you might be dealing with a toxic work environment, just like Marcia. Understanding the signs is the first step towards addressing the problem. But what if confronting the issue doesn't seem like a viable option? It's natural to feel hesitant about addressing a toxic work environment, especially if the instigator seems untouchable. But remember, there are other options. Take Marcia's story, for instance. Her work environment was filled with passive-aggressive actions, backstabbing and micromanagement. It's a classic case of a toxic workplace. Now, one solution could be talking to the Human Resources Department. They're there to ensure the well-being of all employees, and they might be able to help Marcia find a resolution. However, Marcia, like many others, feared that this approach could make things worse. This is a valid concern, and it's important to gauge the potential repercussions. If you find yourself in a similar situation, it might be time to consider other options. One such option could be seeking a new job. Yes, it might seem daunting, especially if you've built relationships with clients or colleagues. But remember, your mental and emotional health should always be a priority. A healthier work environment could be waiting for you elsewhere, one where your contributions are respected and valued. Another alternative could be to consult with a mentor or a counselor. These professionals can provide guidance, help you develop coping strategies, and even assist you in making career decisions. They're outside the work environment, which means they can offer unbiased advice and support. In Marcia's case, she had a friend, Hope, who acted as a sounding board and a source of support. Hope reminded Marcia of her worth and encouraged her to put herself first. This kind of support can be invaluable when navigating a toxic work environment. And let's not forget about self-advocacy. It's important to stand up for yourself, to voice your concerns, and to establish boundaries. You have the right to a respectful and supportive work environment. While it can be challenging to navigate a toxic work environment, remember that your well-being is paramount. You deserve a workplace that respects you and your contributions. So take that first step, whether it's updating your resume, reaching out to HR, or seeking advice from a mentor. Remember, you're not alone, and there are resources available to help you navigate these challenging waters. While you're figuring out your next steps, it's important to take care of yourself. After all, you can't pour from an empty cup. When you're in a toxic work environment, self-care is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. Start by setting clear boundaries. Know when to say no and when to step back. This isn't about being difficult, but about preserving your sanity. Next, connect with supportive people. Find those who understand your situation and can offer solace, advice, or just a listening ear. This can be friends, family, or even a support group. You're not alone in this. Practicing mindfulness can also be a powerful tool. It allows you to stay present and focused, rather than getting lost in the negativity. This could be as simple as taking a few deep breaths when things get tough, or dedicating time each day to meditation or yoga. Finally, don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. You deserve respect and a healthy work environment. Even small changes can make a big difference. Remember, you're not alone in this, and there are resources available to help. You've got this.